This is the second studio, hosted by two architects, myself, David Lee, and Marina Boroderne. This week, it's the two of us in the studio all by ourselves, and we are doing an after-hours conversation, which means that we're going to talk about whatever we want, and a lot of times we don't have anything planned. And that is the beauty and the chaos of these episodes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Super
excited, Marina, contributing to the dialogue of the introduction.
I never contribute to the dialogue of the introduction, especially for the after hours, so I'm not going to change the tradition here.
Yeah, okay. Up the energy, right? People are listening. They're at work. They're driving to work. They're on their subway to work.
Maybe they're just on the same wavelengths as I am, which is no energy.
No.
Maybe they feel like they can relate.
We're bringing them up.
Maybe you're too much for them right now. They need the other side.
We're rising the tide, so all ships rise together. And anyway, that's the introduction.
This episode of The Second Studio is brought to you by BQE Core, the all-in-one firm management software built for architects. Designed by architects for architects, Core helps you track time effortlessly, manage projects seamlessly, and get paid faster so you can focus on design, not spreadsheets. With powerful automation and real-time insights, it's everything you need to run a smarter, more profitable firm. See how BQE Core can transform your practice by clicking the link in our show notes. The Second Studio podcast is sponsored by Autodesk. And do you know about Autodesk Forma? Available standalone or as part of the AEC Collection software bundle, it's a specialized AI-assisted 3D design tool that can transform early project planning. With Forma, you can rapidly model multiple massing options at the start of projects and analyze the embodied carbon cost of different volumes, layouts, and material choices. You can then deepen your understanding of your sites by incorporating real-world contextual data for daylight, wind, noise, and more. So start your projects right with Autodesk Forma. Check out the link in our show notes to learn more.
This is the second studio with the two of us. So it turns out, we did an after hours a few weeks ago. A month ago, whatever, where we talked about our trip to New York, and then we did a poll on Instagram to see if we did.
Okay.
And the poll, because a few people messaged us and said, like, you should do more of these. Like, I miss you guys doing.
That's what I said.
More of the after hours.
Yeah, huh? That's what I say all the time. Is do an after hour. No, we got to do another of these, another of that.
Okay.
More work.
Spreading misinformation.
No, it's true.
You never say anything regarding the podcast.
They're the easiest to do. They're the easiest to do. They stress you out. I know they stress you out because you're
after hours.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
No. In the order of the most stressful recordings, they are the project companions, followed by.
That's it.
I think that's it. Followed by maybe some of the fellow designer episodes when we have to, but not really. I'm not concerned about those. So then it's like basically just the project companions.
Yeah, which is the ones you always ask us to do.
So, but it's putting out an episode once a week sounds like a lot, but it's not. And so if we do every other,
we've been recording twice a week, which is a lot lately.
No, but we put out once a week. So if it's a guest every other week, we only have 2 episodes a month.
But we don't record I understand that, but the amount of work it takes to get those episodes done when we record 2 a week and none of those are after hours, it's a lot. This is not my full-time job, man. I have a full-time job. I have a baby. When is the after-hour time? There's no more after hours.
Remind me again, though. What exactly is it that you do behind the scenes with the show that requires so much work?
I take care of all the shit that needs to be taken care of to run a household. That's what I do. What do you do?
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the podcast.
No. Wow, I wish I could just focus on whatever I want to focus.
I will gladly do laundry over doing podcast stuff on the weekend.
It's not just laundry, but yeah, sure.
I will. Want to trade?
Yeah, you can. Wake up tomorrow
don't want to trade. See, this is misinformation again.
You can wake up tomorrow at 6 hours sleep only, maybe 6 good hours, and then just run the show. Yeah, that's fine. I sleep in tomorrow and edit this particular episode, and I'll be done in 2 minutes. I just be stitching it together, put a cover, and boom, done. That's it.
That's not going to happen. You don't even know where anything is. You don't know the system. Okay.
I don't know system. I taught you system.
No. The system behind the scenes.
I'll figure it out.
You're like what's the character from the bear? You're coming in, and I'm the cousin. Okay, don't come into my space and mess with the system. We have a system that allows the podcast to thrive, and we don't mess with the system. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that an episode a week sounds like a lot to a lot of people, but because we flip, right? We go guest, not guest, guest, not guest, guest, not guest. It means that, and we have the other, primarily just other three types of episodes: the After Hours, the Project Companion, and the Fellow Designer, right? Those are very, very different episodes. And so trying to find a balance between all three when you only have 2 in a month is difficult to do, because there are people who want to know more about our profession and how it works and how we work. There are people who are like, give me information about helping me as a aspiring architect or an architect. And then there's a lot of folks who just want to listen to After Hours. So it's a very delicate balancing act.
Life is so hard. I have so much content to put out. It's like the opposite of the blank page fear. I have too many full pages to publish. I don't know what order to publish them into.
No, I'm not saying that either.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying that either.
Anyway, it's nice to do an After Hours once in a while. I have to say it's because we need more After Hours. There is just no, like lifetime speaking, there is no After Hours anymore in this life.
Well, I don't know if we can count doing a recording, even if it is an After Hours recording, as After Hours.
Oh, no, it is. That's how we have fun on Saturday night now. We do After Hours. So sad.
Yeah, I think we put out an episode recently and we had, an interruption in the middle. And so we recorded part of it like in the beginning of the day and the second part of it like at the end of the day.
You mean the baby woke up and like our schedule got messed up.
So if you pay close enough attention, we look much more tired in the last 20 minutes of the recording, and we're wearing the same outfits to try and keep up the facade.
We could have changed clothes,
but we didn't. Like the hair is different.
12 hours had passed.
The voice is lower and slower.
The bags under the eyes are more present.
Yeah. No. But so as I was saying, people were saying like we should do more of these. So then I did a poll on Instagram to see, because I'm curious. And I don't know what the results were.
What?
Because I don't really pay attention.
You don't check the results?
But I will say that this is like a 24-hour thing, right?
Do you know how Instagram works?
No,
or
really.
Are you brand new to this?
Anyway, after a good chunk of time, whatever that means, when I didn't check at the very end, but I checked after a good chunk of time, it was like 90-10. 90% of people were saying do more After Hours, and 10% say no. But also the people who are participating, they're volunteering to participate. So is it really an accurate poll? I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information.
Oh my God, your life is too much heavy information.
What do you suggest then?
Well, if 90 said do more, then do more. That's that simple.
Cut down the Fellow Designers.
I don't know. Like,
Whoa. You don't know.
Are you using this After Hours as a working session to the second studio here? Are you tricking me into one of your like weird mind games while you're like making me work when it's like the weekend and After Hours and whatever? Like, no. Okay.
It sounds more to me like you were being critical and I asked you what you would do and you gave half an answer, then you ran around.
I said let's do more After Hours, so at least it's record one After Hours once a month.
That only leaves one other episode type for the two of us in an average month.
I mean, when was the last time we did Fellow Designers? Fellow Designers are kind of like more occasional. If there is a specific questions from a listener, maybe that would spark the idea for an episode. So that's that.
Well, what we should do is a poll.
You see how easy decisions can be made?
I think if we're going to be more thorough, we should do another poll asking people if we should do more.
Yeah, but you should look at the results.
Yeah, I can look at them right now.
No, I mean, I don't need to know right now, but,
Well, no, but you've piqued my interest, and I don't...
You don't even know how to see the results now,
I don't know how to see the results.
That's too bad.
When in doubt, click on the hamburger. It's loading. Your activity. Is that... Sticker responses...
Well, you might have to figure that out on your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and vamp for me.
I'm tired.
No. Again, we're trying to bring people up. They're on their way.
I'm tired, so I had stuff.
No one's listening to this to go to sleep. So bringing it down is the opposite.
You never know. Maybe I have a very soothing voice that people use to put their babies to sleep. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know. I was going to say, I stopped coffee for, I don't know. How many years did I stop coffee for? Like a while, right? Like I don't know, 3 years more.
That's a while.
Right?
Yeah.
And I went back on coffee, and I don't think it's doing anything to me. So, if not coffee, what's next?
Caffeine pills? What about matcha? Does matcha still do something for you?
No, and Costco stopped selling my favorite soy milk, so that's it. That just killed the matcha for me. So I'm gonna get back on Red Bull.
But the coffee you drink is not like really strong. It's not like dark. It's not light roast, right?
I think I have medium and dark. That's the only two I have.
Oh, try light roast.
Well, light won't do me anything. No, but I like the brown capsule. What?
So you're choosing your coffee based on the color of the capsule?
No, I've tried a bunch. I've tried 5 different kinds, and the brown is the one that I prefer.
Oh, okay.
So why would I drink the other ones?
For more caffeine.
No, but yeah, but you see, I can't just consume things because of what they do. I have to also be able to enjoy them.
Okay. Have a brown coffee, and then right afterwards have a light coffee.
And then don't sleep ever. That's too much coffee at once.
No, again, no. It's not the extremes. It's not nothing or infinity. There's a nice middle in everything. Okay, so if
but I have 2 coffee a day. So how does that work?
Oh,
I have 2 of each every time.
What? What?
I have 2 of each every time.
You could if you want to,
but I don't want to have 4 coffee a day.
So. I feel like your coffee problem pales in comparison to the whole scheduling of the podcast. Okay. And also, as you remember from our trip to Hawaii, that the light roast has more caffeine because they don't, the light roast means it's roasted less. So the caffeine gets less roasted out.
Yeah, but the flavor is just not hitting it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my solution is to have some light roast coffee. And there's probably some really good ones out there you could try and find one that you like, and then the problem would be solved.
But you know what's annoying is that if you want to try something like coffee, you have to buy a whole pack of something. What if I just want like 1 capsule?
Cometeer.
Okay, you and your fancy stuff. I can buy just 1 capsule.
No, you get a variety pack.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the variety pack, there's probably, like, if there is 15, there's probably 2 I'm going to like, and the other 13 I don't care for. So I have to drink 13 I don't care for?
Again, it's this extremes of like you love everything or you hate 13 of them. There's a very good chance that if I have a pack of 15 from Cometeer, that at least half of them you're going to like. Statistically, that's pretty fucking good. It's probably more like 70%, to be honest, because it's very high quality coffee.
You just want someone to try the Cometeer, right? I mean, you've been pushing on it.
I've been pushing on it.
I'm like,
but it's not cheap. I've never even had it, so I don't know why I'm promoting it. But
I've never even heard of it before you just bragging about it. So
I've never had it. So I don't know if
it's
any good.
You don't even drink coffee. So.
But I am seduced by their advertisements.
What's so special about it?
They just have you seen their ads?
No, I told you I never.
You know what it is, right? They
I know it's about coffee. That's what I know.
They brew the coffee at their facilities, factory, whatever, right? And they freeze it into capsules, like small capsules. And so they ship it to you frozen. So the whole idea is you have a frozen tray, like ice cubes, basically, of coffee, individual.
So it's already brewed.
Already brewed, and you drop the ice cube of coffee into your glass, and you pour boiling hot water on top, and it creates like the perfect temperature of coffee to drink. So it's not boiling hot, and it's not lukewarm. And the idea is because they brew it in the facility with certain methods, or right after they grind it, or whatever, it's like a very, very fresh taste, as opposed to when you buy beans, whole beans, or ground coffee. It sits for a while, and then you lose a lot of like the essence of flavor.
Is that better than capsules, though? Because capsule is like airtight, and it's brewed like fresh. So,
what capsules of the Cometeer?
No, I mean no, like Nespresso capsules, for example. They're sealed, right? So they don't go bad.
No, but I think the point is that as soon as you not blend it, what is it? Grind it, it loses its whatever. So even if it's a capsule, it's not the same thing. I from my understanding. So the point is that they capture all of like the essence and great stuff that gets lost through the typical process, and they flash freeze, so it's held in there, right? So yeah, but anyway, their commercials show, you can imagine there's a frozen cube of coffee that comes out of a aluminum capsule pod that dumps into a clear glass. They pour boiling water and they stir it with a big metal stick thing. It's just a very seductive commercial.
I love how you're so into the product, but you've never tried it.
I know. It looks
You're so
really
convinced
good,
by it being the coffee to
I
drink.
also like the name. I like the font of the name.
How do you spell it?
Cometeer. So like comet, Cometeer.
So what's the end again?
What?
Spell it again?
You can tell we're tired. Comet, comet, EER.
Oh.
And it's in a cursive kind of font. It's very, very seductive.
There is gold dust that is sprinkled on each cube, and you become 100% attractive, and you lose 50 pounds every time you have a cup. Yeah.
Oh God!
So don't drink too much
He's
coffee,
so
otherwise you're
attractive
going to
you can't see
disappear.
him anymore. Despite all that, haven't tried it because it is not cheap, and I'm not a huge coffee drinker. And when I think about getting it as a gift for someone, I'm like, it's kind of like, for that amount of money, I could get them something else that's maybe has more meaning. And
it's funny because there's some things that I feel like I'm more old school about. Like, I kind of like the brewing my own coffee. I understand the convenience maybe of the cube or whatever, and I'm not fully sold, and maybe I should try it on like the flavor being better than like a typical thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like ritual when it comes to like hot beverages, like the little matcha ritual with the whisk and the powder and the this and the that, and you put that first. And even the coffee ritual, which right now is like the dumbest ritual, right? It's like grab a pod, fill the water, push the button.
I was gonna say like the ritual and the whole like brewing of coffee does not.
I know.
It makes it sound like you have whole beans and you're grinding them and you're doing a drip.
My dad used to do that growing up.
I know that, but you're using an espresso, so it's like maybe even less of a ritual than if you were to the Cometeer.
Yeah, maybe.
So there we go.
I mean, I wouldn't mind like grinding my own beans and whatever, but I feel like, I feel like I don't drink enough coffee to make that worth my time. Yeah. In the same time, I feel like those types of ritual make more sense when it's a more occasional thing you enjoy and is special. So I just kind of like to contradict myself.
Did I win? Did I win a point?
Yeah, win half a point.
Half a point. Okay, I'll take it.
Point.
The score is 502 to 1.
You have one, right?
I have.
I mean, you have a beverage ritual too.
Oh, I love beverages. I'm the biggest fan of drinks.
Let's see. You said that about a lot of things. You love beverages.
Yeah.
You love sauces.
Yes.
Like, it still doesn't make sense to me. Like, you use the same sauce on every dish.
Almost.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No,
everything gets Tabasco. It doesn't matter what you're eating.
No.
Everything gets Tabasco. Which I don't understand. Like, how putting a very vinegary, stinky sauce on something could enhance any dish. Like, if Tabasco was known to enhance food, why wouldn't people put it in every recipe? They don't.
If Tabasco was, what did you say, was not known, was known?
If it was known to be the thing to add to every dish.
If Tabasco was known to be the thing to add to many dishes, it would not be a hugely successful company that probably sells millions of bottles a year, as they do.
Okay, in America, sure. And people put that here on everything.
We are in America.
Yeah.
Hardly these days.
I don't know if I want to be in America.
It's bad.
But I
have a nice collection.
You have Tabasco in Europe, and people don't put that on everything. Like,
because the food's better in Europe.
There we go. How'd I get a point?
No. But it's true. When we travel, to other countries like Europe or Japan or like whatever, I don't, I'm not there going, ooh, I could use some Tabasco. This could use some Tabasco. I'm like, this is fucking perfect. Yeah. Wouldn't change a thing. So no, but I have a nice collection of hot sauces. Tabasco happens to be the staple.
It's the base.
But it's the base. But, sometimes you got to like mix it up because you're having a certain dish. You want a slightly different flavor. Or sometimes, you you just want to live risky. So you're going to go with these.
So I'm trying to understand, after so many years, living with you and seeing those bottles flying around, like, what is the rationale behind?
Which?
Okay, like, how much do you put on your plate? What's the order of, like, you dip it first in the Tabasco and then in the other sauce? How do you select the other sauce? What is that based on? What are you looking for by adding Tabasco and hot sauces to your dishes? Like, you're just trying to forget about what you're eating?
No. It doesn't... See, anyone who likes hot sauces, they're listening to you and they're saying, this person doesn't get it.
No, I don't.
I know you don't. It doesn't remove the flavor. It just adds heat and spice, which I like. I like spicy... I like spicy things at a very mild range compared to, like, true spicy cuisine. But I know I like having heat. And for me, it's like, if I'm of course, I don't add it to everything.
So you like your tongue hurting?
It's, I mean, there is, I don't know if you'd call it pain. I mean, at some level, it is painful when it's too hot, right?
But is it pleasant?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. It's like saying, is pepper pleasant?
Well, to a certain degree. But
Same
too much
thing with the hot
pepper
sauce. Same thing with hot sauce. I mean, I like hot sauces and things, but just for folks listening, I'm not able to really withstand high heat. So, like, not long ago, as a gift, I was given the hot sauce Da Bomb from the Hot Wings show, Hot Ones show, where they eat hot wings. Anyone who's followed that show mildly knows that Da Bomb is a staple on that show, and it stops everyone in their tracks because it doesn't taste good, apparently. Anyway, I got that as a gift, and it was during the holidays or something.
It was painful.
We tried it. It was fucking hot. It was painful, and I didn't try a lot of it either.
Wait, so how was it painful? Like, what does it do? It just numbs everything? It just burns? And
burns.
And you want to die? Like, what's the...
No, you don't want to die, but it's
I mean, I don't know if the pain is really bad.
Right? You've had hot sauce. You've had peppers and stuff before, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same sensation. Different. It's not a different sensation.
But was it, like, 10 times worse than, like, the worst pepper you've ever had?
Oh, well, if I compare it to eating, like, a jalapeno with seeds... I don't know. That's hard. I haven't had a jalapeno like that. Like 5 times strong. It was strong.
I remember hitting a Jalapeno once in Germany years ago. We were in Berlin and we went to some, I don't know, random...
I did not think this jalapeno story was going to start with you being in Berlin. What the fuck?
We were in Berlin on an architecture school trip with my close friends, and we were in the Kreuzberg, I think, district, kind of like walking around looking for lunch and whatever, and we see some sort of, I think it was Middle Eastern restaurant, desperate for food. It was, we're running out of time for the lunch break. Come in, it's just a bunch of dudes in there, like the types of dudes, and
I don't. What does that even mean?
Just like very macho. They were like, what are those 3 girls doing here? Kind of like all eyes on us.
Okay.
We sit down, kind of a panic, order things, whatever's on the menu. The dish show up and we're like, oh, great, bell peppers or whatever. And we each grab one and we look at each other and we're like, oh my God, what did we just do? What did we... And everybody was just staring at us the whole time. So we're like,
so delicious.
Trying to keep like a poker face and like not show anything, and we were like sweating and feeling like, okay, who's going to the bathroom first?
Yeah.
It was bad.
If you're not used to spicy stuff,
it was bad, and we were out like all day that day walking around, and we're like, I don't know if we're gonna make it to the end.
Have you had Tabasco?
I've had Tabasco. I don't care for it. And I really don't care for the smell. Like, whenever we eat and the bottle of Tabasco is cap open on the table, I have to close it. Like, it just gets to my nose. And I'm
going to buy a Tabasco candle. You know, they have candles that are like, like the scent of the forest, the scent of, like, France, the scent of feet or whatever it is. I'm going to get a Tabasco one. This thing, it's terrible. Yeah. This nanite thing. It's, like, always malfunctioning.
For those who don't know, it's the baby monitor who just keeps like getting video stream. It's like, all right, well, the point is to monitor the baby. If it's not working, then what's the point? Yeah. Anyway.
But no, so with like Tabasco and all most of the hot sauces I have and use, it doesn't eliminate all the other flavor, but it just adds another dimension to it. That's all. But the selection is an interesting question.
I mean, is there even a rationale behind it? Or it's kind of like, okay, today is Tuesday. It's bottle number 3.
No, it's more like instinctive than anything else. But sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, I will want something like much spicier than Tabasco. And I'm trying to think of what mood I'm in to where I would want that.
Oh, let me take notes so I can know what mood you're in based on what hot sauce you're eating.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know.
But it takes you forever to eat those things too.
Takes a while, yeah. I don't overdo it too much. I mean, it's not like I'm dousing everything and so much where I can't taste anything. But yeah, I love hot sauces.
Okay, so you love hot sauces. You love beverages?
Yeah, of any kind.
Of any kind?
I love smoothies. I love water. I love bubbly stuff. I love beer, mixed drinks.
Is there a beverage you don't like?
Probably, but just like drinks, and I love drinking things. I don't know what it is. Smoothies, yeah. Green juices, kombucha, shots of ginger.
You used to make your own kombucha for
I would
a
drink
while.
all of it all the time. Ends up being a lot of sugar, though.
Yeah, but you're skinny. Who cares?
Like, I would just drink my food almost. It's so delicious.
Drink your food.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I don't really ever use sauces unless it's like, in a dish like pasta or whatever. Like I would use some mayo or ketchup when it seems appropriate. Mm-hmm. But I don't really need to add anything. Besides, I do like my salt and pepper. Like a food that doesn't have salt and pepper to me is just missing it. Sure. So I do like to add those pretty often. And beverages, I'd be content with just water. I don't really need
so boring.
Unless
so
it's like
boring.
an afternoon break and I need, coffee or this or that.
Yeah,
but during but that's also how I was raised. Like I wasn't raised drinking anything but water during a meal.
I don't know what we had when we had milk. We were always having milk.
Because at the dining table?
As opposed to where? Yeah.
What would you
With
have
dinner.
milk at the what?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah, so wait, you just had water? Sparkling.
On fancy days, sparkling. Otherwise,
Fancy
just flat
days.
water.
Yeah, when the Queen comes and visits. Yeah, no, we had. I was trying to think when we were kids. First of all, when we were kids, my sister and I, we didn't have soda. Like that was not part of. We were not allowed to have soda because it was understood that it wasn't very healthy for you. Mm-hmm. I had some friends that always had like soda all the time. That we never had soda.
But your dad always drinks soda.
He always had Diet Coke, yeah, and still does. But as kids, we never had soda. We just had.
Your parents would tell you can't have it because it's not healthy, but your dad would be sipping
yeah, of course.
cans of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's also because when you're a kid, you don't need caffeine. You shouldn't be drinking caffeinated drinks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we had Capri Sun for lunch and stuff, which is like just fucking molasses. No, but I think at home it was. I think it was water and milk. And we weren't a big orange juice household, but we would have sometimes like guava juice and things like that.
That's nice.
But still not very often. We didn't have a lot of sugary things. We never had dessert. Not never. We had dessert like maybe once every 2 weeks. It just wasn't a thing we had. And because we never had it, we never missed it, But yeah, at the dinner table, it was like water and then milk. And I think it's because at that time, the dairy industry, probably subsidized and sponsored by the government or Big Pharma or some bullshit, had a very successful ad campaign called Got Milk, which you've probably...
I've heard about it.
Yeah. So
I have seen some old commercial.
Everywhere when I was growing up, it was Got Milk. And the commercials were super successful, interesting, like advertisements in their own right. And the whole thing was like, you got to drink your milk to have healthy bones.
Yeah. I mean,
milk
we got
is
the
healthy.
same spiel in France.
Yeah, so like that's what we would have as milk.
But why at dinner?
I guess you'd have milk in the morning for cereal. In the middle of the day, we had sometimes milk in those sacks like we talked about before. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
and at night, yeah. I mean, but when you say it, where else would we having milk if not at the table at home during dinner?
I mean, growing up, we just had milk at breakfast with cereals.
That makes sense. We had that too.
That's it. And maybe like a chocolate milk carton in the afternoon snack when we were like young kids.
Yeah.
But not in the evening.
I feel like we had milk at dinner. Well,
that's interesting.
I don't know if it was like every night, but I remember distinctly.
Also because, I don't know, milk could be harder to digest, but...
the knowledge about nutrition, what to drink and not drink, and organic has changed so much since I was a kid that I don't know. It was different. I mean, I remember that we had milk at dinner because when I was a little kid, I was probably, it's hard to say, maybe like 7 or 8 or 9, something around there. I don't know. We're at the dinner table. There's always vegetables of some kind. Never liked vegetables. We had broccoli very often, and in my household, you'd have broccoli with mayonnaise, which made it like tolerable, and I like that. Or green beans with mayonnaise, and I still like. That's how I prefer that today if I'm having broccoli because that's what I grew up with. And then
that's funny. I've never had that together.
And if we could convince our parents, they would sometimes we would melt a slice of American craft cheese on top of the broccoli, which was like awesome, but also very dangerous because it's either like too cold and it's like gelatinous, or it's scalding hot and it burns like all of your insides. But so that was like really good if you could manage to get the microwave to be right. But this one particular night we had zucchini, and I knew already that I did not like zucchini by that point in my life. But as a kid, right, it's like eat your vegetables. You have to eat your vegetables, and sometimes your parents like give you food on your plate, right? So that's like you don't have the ability to choose what you want. You're just given a plate of stuff and you eat that. And that was the case. And there was a hefty amount of zucchini, and I still to this day I do not like zucchini. Zucchini bread, fine, because you can't even taste the fucking zucchini. But I don't like zucchini. It just doesn't taste good to me. And so I remember eating it, my dad getting very angry that I wasn't eating my zucchini. So I tried to finish it by drinking it with milk to like wash it down.
Oh God.
Worst I did ever. I was like, I don't think I threw up, but it was fucking nasty. It was a bad night. It was a bad night for me as a kid. Dad was not happy. The whole thing. So I do know that we had milk for dinner because I remember that it was not pleasant.
Milk and zucchini, that doesn't sound like a good combo.
It wasn't.
No.
But to my defense, now that I look back on it, I was attempting to have the zucchini. So this was not the right pairing.
You know you can eat zucchini raw. Doesn't have to be cooked.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of any squash-like things.
I love squash. I could have butternut squash every day of my life. I could have onions by itself.
Yeah, onions are good.
Grilled onions, of course, right? Every day for breakfast, any time of the day. Breakfast, before going to bed, it's one of those things, you know.
I love onions. Onions.
And then you love sandwiches too. You have this thing with...
We were supposed to have sandwiches for dinner. We didn't go to do grocery shopping, so now we're going to have pizza.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we'll do sandwiches tomorrow. Oh, I love sandwiches. Like a good sub sandwich from a proper sub sandwich, not Subway, but like a proper place. Right. Oh, man. Yeah.
Is there a particular thing that you like or don't like in your sandwiches?
No, I want everything. No, I mean, classic. Some kind of deli meat. Like if I'm going to like a real sandwich shop, I'm going to get, first of all, the bread has to be not a loaf, a roll type bread, not a slice. Mm-hmm. Now, what is that? You don't go to a proper sandwich, but you get a slice of something.
I'm the opposite. I like the slice.
Boo. Because you can do that at home, right? You got to get the full thing of bread so that
Yeah, but I have a hard time. Sometimes it's too big. You can bite into them.
Yeah, then you eat around it as if you're,
Yeah, then you're like a little mice. You just get bread, and then you just get what's inside, and then you're back to just bread, and it's like I want one bite, and I want it all the layers.
No, see, that's the point. You want it to be so big that you have to work around it, because then you feel when I have that, I feel like I'm a little kid, like a little kid, and someone's giving me a giant sandwich to eat. That's what I feel like. I'm like, this is amazing. I have to like work my way around it. Same thing with Chipotle burrito. This little like baby.
Yeah, I don't do well with things that are like that. I'm like, no, I want to be able to I want to control, and I want a bite of like the whole thing. I want to taste everything at the same time at one bite.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Deli meat, some kind of cheese.
Do you like your cheese to be melted in your sandwiches, or?
If I'm going to, like I said, like a proper sandwich place, I don't get things toasted or hot. You need it cold. You need to.
I like the complete opposite.
You need to.
I like my bread to be crispy. I like my cheese to be melted.
No, the thing for me is like, that's how you judge whether or not a sandwich spot is a good one. When if it's cold and it's good and it's clean and crisp and tasty.
Actually, there is a...
But it's hot. It's too easy to hide, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Also, sometimes the hot doesn't mix well with the other cold stuff that's in the sandwich. There's actually a sandwich place I used to go to for lunch in New York, back in Soho when I was working there the first couple of years, of my life in New York. And I wanted to go back there when we made our trip, but didn't get a chance to. I think we ended up splitting. I had something to do for like paperwork stuff and
the Daisy place?
No, so Grand Daisy, which is a bakery that's been around for like I think a few decades in New York. They had this Nutella cookie in a heart shape. Mm-hmm. It was like a double cookie with a little cutout of a heart in the middle, and there was layered Nutella between the two cookies. Mm-hmm. And it was like powdered sugar on top. It was just really cute, just the right amount of Nutella, nothing too much, like very friendly looking. I mean, why wouldn't you get it if you walk by it? But it was perfect. It was perfectly the Nutella cookie, like nothing too much. So I would go there to get that. They also had very good pizza, which I think I had mentioned, like thin crust, but veggie pizza. It's a big fire truck down the street. They had like a cauliflower one that had a bunch of herbs on it I really loved. They had a tomato one that was just like straight tomato kind of like paste or whatever. That was delicious. And they were kind of like, what?
Yeah, a lot of fire trucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going on the wrong side of the road too. Outside of our... They're stopping. Yeah, well, whatever.
I mean, the fire alarm didn't go off, so we're probably okay.
And now a quick break to thank the sponsors who support the second studio. Managing projects efficiently is critical to any office, but it can be a challenge. Fortunately, there is a solution, and it is Programma. Programma is a tool that is used by thousands of designers across 75 countries. It allows you to manage all aspects of a project in one place. What does it offer? It has specification schedules, client dashboards, mood boards, product libraries, invoices, purchase orders, and the powerful web clipper, which allows you to save images from the internet and incorporate them into your schedules, pinboards, product library, or image library. Click the link in our show notes to learn more and use the code SECONDSTUDIO at checkout to save 25% off your annual subscription. Hey Marina, would you like to get your as-built faster? Of course you would. IPX has you covered. IPX lets you seamlessly transform your laser scans into LOD 300 BIM and CAD files. Whether you've got your 3D scans already or you need the full laser scanning service, IPX offers instant pricing and order tracking for scan-to-BIM services on any project, no matter the size or complexity. Plus, your BIM files can be seamlessly transferred to Autodesk Construction Cloud, allowing your construction team to start work right away. Start your next project on the 50-yard line with accurate data by clicking the IPX link in our show notes and learn more.
Yeah, so I would go there for those things. But there is another tiny place, kind of like a hole in the wall. I think they had like 3 stools. It was like at the corner. It's still there. I looked it up. It's called Café Clementine. At the corner of the street. Teeny tiny thing. It was always packed at lunch. And they only had like, 3 stools sitting with a shadow counter like in the storefront, right? And then you come in and it's like a very, I don't know, it's like maybe not even 10 feet until you reach the counter from the door, right? Yeah. And then there was a kitchen like filled with people working nonstop. And they were just like handling like orders here and there like constantly. It was ridiculous. And they had the, like the combo like half soup, half sandwich. Yeah. That I really like during the winter times in New York City, because it's like you want the hot warm of soup, but you don't want just that for lunch because you know you're going to be hungry, right? And they had these sandwiches that was so delicious. It was like not a rye bread, but kind of like one of those like healthy sliced bread with like sprouts in it, and it had like slices of cheddar that were like thick enough, that when you bite into them, you could tell that you were biting into the cheddar. And it was just veggies. There was, I don't think, any protein in it. It was a veggie sandwich, but it was so good. And it was so good. And then they had like split pea soup and like all kinds of. It was just very tasty for what it was. And the sandwiches came in, like the white, kind of like parchment like paper wax, bags, wax paper, like old school wrapped, and there's just a lot of like small details. Like even the soup came in, like the white container, kind of like soft cardboard, glossy thing with the cap that has the hole at the top, like, I don't know. And they always give you like the little crackers for your soup, which I very much enjoyed. Just now I want to go back. Good. Now I regret not having gone there. Yeah. Yeah. But it was the summer, so soup would not have made sense.
It's funny listening to you talk about food. We have very little in common. Except for that soup and salad. What you described sounds amazing, but you're kind of fetishizing little heart-shaped Nutella cookies. Give me that bottle of Tabasco. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listeners might not know, but for the ones who don't know, like we are a couple, right? In case it wasn't clear, but for people who might not know, is we often don't even eat the same things, and
we hardly.
I mean, like tonight we will share a pizza.
Yeah. Pizza is like is the commonality across all people as well. And so it's really not like a very special connection.
It's like we're having like, I don't know, turkey legs or whatever.
Yeah, we just we like different things.
But I mean, as much as I love like family meals and sharing things with people or whatever, like same time you do you. Like if that makes you happy to have Tabasco on every dish and eat only meat and carbs, and that's fine. And if I want only vegetables and all colors in my plate, then that's fine, right? Like
it's so funny. Like you were describing that sandwich, I was super excited, and as soon as you said it's all vegetables, I was like, oh man,
I'd say that.
Such a downside, such a bummer. It's weird. I don't know what it is because I didn't grow up eating a lot of meat. It's not like some households, like we have friends and stuff, like they grew up having steaks and things pretty often because they had a grill or whatever. Like we never had that. We never had steaks growing up. We had a variety of things, but we weren't like carnivores by any kind of metric. I think we had more meat than you did because of your house, whatever. But like, but for me, if I'm having a meal and there's not meat and protein of some kind, it doesn't count as a meal. It's a weird. It's like even if I mean, unless again we're like in France and there's something that's really good, but even there's just like psychologically there's something like if I have a slice of quiche that's really tasty, I'm still like but like where's the fucking beef? You know what I mean?
Well, technically there is meat in quiche, but technically there is meat in quiche.
You mean the eggs?
The eggs, but like depending on the type of quiche you get, like the traditional quiche, the quiche Lorraine, which is from the region of Lorraine,
the bits of
has the little bits of pork in it.
It just feels like someone is, just teasing me or something. It's just like kind of mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, just don't give me little tiny cube confetti things. Cut off a slab of fucking whatever that is and I'll have it on the side.
Talking about quiche, I remember having a quiche in New York that was good, but it was like way too heavy for me.
Really?
And I think it was this place called Bouchon in New York.
This last trip?
No, like years ago.
Okay.
I think we got it a few times actually. I think kind of like a French cafe place thing, like it's a chain, and they have a quiche, but I think they make it with like heavy cream or something. And the pieces of lard typically in France are like small diced, and they're not really like the squishy lard type of pieces. They're usually a bit more lean, let's say.
Oh, I don't know nothing about cooking and whatnot. So what do you mean, like the ingredients that are used to make the quiche, or like there's chunks of lard? Like
there's two things. When you make the quiche, you don't really use heavy cream to make that. Like you usually just use milk, or maybe sour cream, but like not like the heavy cream.
Okay.
And then there is pieces of lard. They're called lardons.
Okay.
That are small pieces of lard in the quiche, and usually you don't really get too much of the fat of the lard. Like I don't know, for some reason the pieces are often like pretty well balanced when they're the little cubes. I thought
lard meant fat, and that it's an ingredient you mix stuff into. But you're not talking about that. You're talking about that there are like discernible cubes of lard.
They're kind of like cubes of bacon, let's say. They're just in a cube form of bacon.
So it's not a mixed ingredient.
It is a mixed ingredient. It is the little cubes that you see in the quiche when you get it.
I know, but it's not like flour or something or sugar. I know that's like through and through. You can see.
They're little bits.
Oh, interesting.
But anyway, and so that place we had quiche there, and it was just like I had 2 bites, and I was like, I don't think I can eat it.
Yeah,
it's just so heavy, and I don't know. It's just
the same thing. One of the times we went to France, after it had been some time, and you remarked like some of it was just like too heavy for what you've been accustomed to now.
Yeah, which is what I mean. I don't really consume that much dairy anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I found a milk that I really like, so now I'm like drinking real milk again, which had not happened in I don't know how many years.
Decades.
So I'm having milk again, which is great, and some yogurt, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Where, in France it was like, multiple times a day, every day, the dairy intake was there. So, yeah, it's interesting how come your body just adjusts to things over time, and like changes. Even your taste buds, change.
Have you, they always say like when you travel or you move to a new place, food is the hardest thing to adjust to or let go of. Have you gotten to a point where, how do I phrase it? It's not like you would become a person who dislikes French food or no longer misses it. Of course, you're always going to miss it because it's just fucking good. But like, have you gotten to a point where like you don't have that sense of longing as strongly, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's over there. If I can, you know what I mean?
No, I mean I do still miss it, and like, it's often during like the summer with all the fruits and veggies.
Oh, okay.
Like if I go to Trader Joe's, do the groceries, and there is a cantaloupe. I'm like, summer equals cantaloupe, and I love cantaloupe, right? And I'm like so tempted to buy it, but then I remember that cantaloupe here does not taste like anything.
Well, we should just go to Sprouts or Whole Foods and get some.
No, but it's just like when you go to the we went on vacation one year in France where they were actually growing cantaloupe there, and you get it there, and it just tastes what it's supposed to taste.
Yeah.
Like, it's just very hard to ever have cantaloupe elsewhere because it's not.
Yeah. I mean, there's farmers markets and stuff, but
yeah, but even farmers market. A farmers market here is such a rip off to me. Like, it's like 3 times the price of the supermarket. Fine, the experience is like too curated. They're not even real farmers. They're just putting on a show, and then the produce are like marginally better tasting than what you get at the store.
But it's not like the general produce you have in France. Still,
like if you go to farmers market anywhere in Europe and you buy the produce from the producer, it's gotta taste what it's supposed to take. It's gotta taste better than the store, and it's ripe, and it's like.
But it's also significantly better tasting than the farmers market stuff here in general, in our exposure, right?
Yeah.
No, it's true. I think the farmers market here have become more like, I don't know what bougie thing you do. It's just weird.
It's a show. It's I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know. It's interesting.
Actually, now that I think about it, when you think when
Like a farmer's
real
market
farmer's market is just like
Europe,
people buying.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like everybody shows up at like 4 a.m. They're setting up their tent. They're like opening their stuff. They're like running the show, and like it's messy. There's trash. There is pieces of fish, and like it's a shit show. Like if you go to a real farmer's market, it is stressful experience. It is smelly. It smells good and bad, right? Because everything just blends in. You walk behind people, like you bargain with the people to buy the stuff. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like a workout,
It's also a farmer's market. Like it's you're there
people
to sell food and to buy food.
Yeah.
Here it's kind of like, I feel like there's a pretense or something else about it. That's not just about selling food.
It's like a mall feeling, It's being curated,
everyone's kind of snooty too.
And everybody's like, it's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, the arrogance of some people. No, but it's true. You go to these things and everyone's like got their Sunday outfit on, and
it's
like
more of
a
fashion show than it is a farmer's market. I mean, I don't know. If anyone ever travels to Europe, go to a farmer's market, you actually see like what that's like, because it has nothing to do.
I remember when I studied in Fontainebleau, there was a big parking lot that had covered parking area structure, like a covering, and there was a market every Sunday or whatever, and it was like you described. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a shit show, but because it was organized, everyone had their place to be, but it was not pretentious whatsoever. No one was there to be like, oh, I'm out getting my organic strawberries today. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, no one's thinking about any of that fucking shit. No one's doing selfies. It's also Fontainebleau. It's a small town. Like, it's just what I would say would be normal. Like humans getting food from other humans who have helped make that food or grow the food or raise the food and slaughter it or whatever. It's not all this other stuff that takes place. I don't know. It's strange times we're living in. I'm also not one to critique, as my diet, my culinary diet and experience is not. It's not anything really. It's the idea of cooking. I think I would enjoy it, but it, like we talked about, it just takes time. And time is something that we're short on right now.
Time is something we're short on, and I think also it's not just the cooking time. It's like the planning. Deciding what do you want to eat, what do you need to buy, when are you going to go buy it, when are you going to cook what, how long is that going to take? I just sound like crazy people. Like listeners are probably like, wait, so these people don't cook? We don't really cook because it's kind of like a secondary thing in our lives. I mean,
I agree, but also. What was it?
There is cooking and cooking, right? There is like warming stuff up to make dinner, and then there is like proper cooking.
Yeah.
Which is a different thing.
I do think if we had an outdoor grill and I knew how to use it, I'd probably buy meats and do that more often. But it's to be honest, it's like the work week is long, and it bleeds into the weekends, and it's pretty intense. And there's a lot of different things that we're thinking about during the work week that when it comes to any, quote, after hours time during the week or in the weekend, I don't want to have to use a part of my brain where I'm having to like strategize, plan, and think about ingredients. And there's certainly parallels between architecture and cooking, right? And I just don't want to have to engage the part of my brain to do that. Like I'm already depleted. And I don't think that for me, engaging in a hobby or whatever you would call it, extracurricular activity where I use those sensibilities, I don't think that would help me like recuperate. Maybe
it would. Yeah, maybe it would. I mean,
maybe
the other interesting
I'd
thing
rather just
is
Netflix and chill.
Is that now that we have a kid, at some point he's going to be eating like real food. So we probably need to figure out what that's going to be like.
That's what the grandparents are for. Yeah, no, it's true, and I did think about that when I was a kid growing up. All of our meals were home cooked, and there's many reasons for that. But one of them is, I think, primarily is that it's cheaper.
Ours weren't
cheaper or home cooked.
Home cooked.
What, really?
Well, both of my parents were working, so.
So what did you?
Sometimes sometimes they would have time to make dinner, and sometimes just like frozen stuff you defrost, put in the oven, or like.
Oh, interesting.
Things you assembled, but yeah, there's not much time to cook.
That's the other thing too. So let me finish what I was going to say is that so we always had home cooked meals, and I remember one of my childhood friends who lived in the neighborhood, we'd visit them every now and then. Fantastic people, but like they did not do home cooked meals, and it wasn't an issue of like not the parents not working, the parents working late and not being around or whatever. They just neither parents really knew how to cook, nor did they care to, so they were always ordering in or going out. And when you're a kid and all you have is home cooked meals, I'd go to his house. And when they would order in pizza or go out, like it's like a treat. It's like the most exciting thing. Like, oh, we're gonna get food made from someone else that we paid for. They paid for it. Like this is so exciting. And then at one point it dawned on me like I do not want to do this every night though. This is
oh no, every night that would be too much.
It's also like not as healthy. I feel like I guess it depends on what you're doing, but it doesn't feel as healthy because I feel like restaurants also. They layer in the salt and a bunch of other things or whatever. But yeah, it was a really stark contrast. I'm like, this is weird. And then it flipped. I was like, this is strange. Like, what are you guys doing? You eat out every night? Like, this can't be... It can't... Because even for me, like, we eat in, and it's not cooking, but the idea of eating out every night or doing takeout, I'm like, ugh.
I mean, I think more people than we think do that, actually.
Probably, but...
But I'm also like, well, how many restaurants do you have to know to be able to like not eat the same stuff like every week?
It's also expensive.
Yeah.
But you were saying that it was a mixture, or mostly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mixture. I mean, my mom would do groceries, and there's some good frozen stuff you can find, and just kind of like warm up the oven and get dinner done that way, which worked. But yeah, both my parents were working. My dad would drive like 3 hours every day to get to work, like wake up at 4 a.m, get back at 6, go to bed at 9. Like he doesn't want to cook for 3 hours.
That's a fancy meal, 3 hours.
You know?
Yeah.
And my mom, same thing. Like, they have 2 kids. Like, they had their day. Like, I get it. Like, it's not.
My parents were at home, so like that wasn't so much of an issue growing up, and the time to prepare food. Like, my mom was always home, did half days for the most part, from what I recall. So like she was making food and doing whatever, making dinner and doing whatever else. But yeah, it's weird because now that we have a kid, it's like, how do people, if 2 people are both working full time, which is more and more common these days for various reasons, and you finish work on average at 6 p.m., right? Sometimes earlier if you're lucky, or if you're working a certain job, oftentimes later in the case of like these professions that we're in. But like kids get out of school at 3:30 or whatever the fuck, and there's some extra.
They have nannies, and they eat with the nannies, and they go to bed before you get home. That's what happens.
I know, it's weird. It's a very strange.
I mean, I was a babysitter, and I would go pick up the kids at school, bring them home, shower them, put them in their pajamas, give them dinner, and the moms would come back when they're in bed.
I mean, that's right. That's really why there's always.
So I think he's going to have some dinners will be like what you're eating, some dinners going to be what I'm eating.
My dinners will have no vegetables.
And mine would have only vegetables.
Yeah, vegetable smoothies.
So what's your favorite meat? Talking about meat, we went on a little getaway weekend the other weekend, and you bought beef jerky.
Oh, I love beef jerky.
Another thing you love beef jerky. And I'm sitting in the back of the car now because we have a baby, right? So someone needs to sit in the back. So I was feeding you the snacks, and I was passing over the beef jerky to you. And I enjoy, a beef jerky here and there. Like, it has flavors and things. I cannot think about it too much, because if I think about what it is, it's a little strange. Okay? And then there is something very strange when the pieces of beef jerky come as like giant sheet, and you have to tear little pieces of it. Because it feels like you're tearing somebody's skin apart.
Ew.
And
have you torn someone's skin apart before? No,
but it looks like dry skin.
Oh, it looks like beef jerky. Okay, well, in the future, this is fucking weird. So the next, just give me you didn't need to, just give me the pack of beef jerky. They have a whole seat next to me. I'll figure it out.
No, but you were driving. I was trying to be helpful.
No, it's appreciated, but now not appreciated, because if you're in the beef jerky experience.
It's really good beef jerky.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, you have more issues with like meat things in general. It doesn't.
I can't think about the meat too much, or it disturbs my brain.
I probably choose not to think about it, and any concerns I have quickly go away after I have a tasty bite of meat. I'm like, what was my concern? I don't know. This is fucking good though. Let's have more of it, whatever it is.
Let's put some Tabasco on it,
Yeah. No, steak doesn't have Tabasco. Yeah, no, beef jerky, I love it. But it needs to be dry, like proper dry beef jerky, not the store-bought whatever stuff that's like moist. I don't understand that.
Moist?
It's not wet, but it's like
soft.
It's soft, and it has much more like hydration, and I don't like that. It's weird. I like ultra dry beef jerky with pepper. That's it. The exception is Chinese beef jerky, which if anyone's not had it and you like beef jerky, you should go to Chinatown or wherever and get some Chinese beef jerky, because it's like not teriyaki, but it has a sweet flavor. It's moist because it has like not syrup, but it has I don't know whatever it is, and it's really, really good, really, really good. Yeah, beef jerky is another one. Yeah. Big Bear.
Oh yeah, so that's where we got that beef jerky, was Big Bear.
Yeah.
So
Big Bear.
It was somebody's birthday not that long ago.
Yeah.
And the idea was that instead of buying that person a gift that don't necessarily need, we could just go somewhere. Which, of course, in terms of expense, is a lot more than just buying a gift. But guess what? Why not? So we did escape for a short 2 days to Big Bear. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I've heard of Big Bear a couple times in my life.
Yeah.
I had no idea where it was or what it was.
Yeah.
And then we go there, and I'm like, why didn't I not hear about this place more often?
I kind of agree.
Like what?
I don't know.
It was like, less than 2 hour drive from LA. Not the sexiest drive, like the freeway is god awful to be on.
The first drive, right? The first half of getting out of the city, yeah.
But then once you get out of the freeway, you don't really have to go too far in the mountain to get to it.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And I get car sick. The road wasn't that bad, I have to say. Like, I feel like it could have been much windier than it was.
Yeah.
And Big Bear itself, like the little village, was adorable.
Oh, in Big Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little downtown and whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I've heard of it my entire life, obviously. I don't think I think this is the first time I had been to Big Bear. And I'm like, well, my folks, we don't do outdoorsy stuff, but so that answers my next question. But I'm like, why did we go? Because it's so accessible.
Yeah.
Much closer. Like I've only been to Lake Tahoe. Which is like not close to Southern California.
Yeah.
Also, you can't really compare the two because Lake Tahoe is massive and beautiful. But Big Bear, from a mountain experience standpoint, is comparable.
I mean, the lake is teeny tiny. You don't go there for the lake.
Yeah,
but you know, the surroundings and the landscape and the little downtown. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was very. And what was very nice there, I have to say, was the mixity of the people. Which, if anyone has been to Tahoe, I have to say it's mostly white people, right? Let's be honest. Maybe during the touristy month it gets a little bit more mixed than that, but like when we go, it's mostly white people.
Yeah.
But Big Bear and that whole, you know, like even Lake Arrowhead and all of that was a lot more mixed, which was nice. Like.
Mixed in that there were Asians and Hispanics and some Indian and this and that, and still not a lot of black people.
Yeah.
But yeah, more diverse for sure, which I like. I don't really want to talk about this kind of stuff, but it is a weird thing once you or I, became more aware of skin colors of people. And when I'm now in a place where it's all white, I don't feel as comfortable. And it's not because I'm afraid that someone's going to do something or they're going to be racist. It has nothing to do with that. It's just like, I don't feel as...
It's weird.
It just feels weird. I'm like, but this is not... like, but where are the rest of the people?
It's funny because I don't think I've ever thought about skin color until I moved to the U.S.
Interesting. Specifically SLO or New York?
Probably New York because that's where I guess I learned more about those types of issues here than I was aware when I was studying abroad in college.
College is a very specific experience.
But yeah, I mean, it also makes me feel uncomfortable in some way, or it makes me feel weird when we're in a place where it's only white people in the U.S. In France, I'd be like, like it's a small country, like sure, but here, it's not. It's weird.
So in France, obviously, there's a lot of white people, some black people as well. Not a lot of Asians, not a lot of Hispanics, obviously, but like the Caucasian population in France. How do I phrase it? So here in the United States, if you come across an entire town or whatever region, and it's like all white people. There's a very good chance that body of people is Christian and conservative. And there's a very good chance, let's be honest, that a decent number of those folks, or whatever percentage you want to describe it, are mildly racist, right? And that's just kind of like, that's fucking what it is. In France or other countries, there's a lot of white people, but there's not the same thing. I wouldn't go to whatever cities, in France or other countries in Europe and be like, well, a bunch of white people, they must be Christian and conservative and probably somewhat racist. Like, that's not, I don't have that feeling there. Because I think it's more mixed in their beliefs across the white people. Here, though,
they might be Christian and a little bit racist, but maybe not conservative.
But maybe not conservative. Fair enough. But yeah, here it's a different thing, especially when you get to small town areas that are like in the mountainsides or wherever else. It's a different thing, and that I think that's true from our experience between like Tahoe and Big Bear. And we always, when we visit places, we always think like, would we live here? Would we not live here?
Yeah.
As everyone does.
Or would we come back?
Would we come back? And and this and that. And I was flip-flop. Sometimes like, absolutely not. And other times like, this is pretty fucking nice out here. I don't mind this view of this big forest I'm staring at. This is pretty good.
It's pretty crazy because we stayed at an Airbnb, and as soon as we opened the back door of the Airbnb, looking at the landscape, and the smell of the pine trees come in, and silence, and there is like 2 birds talking to each other, and you're like, oh. You're like, oh, where have I been? This is where I belong, you know?
The sound of silence is beautiful. I guess the thing with the skin color or race, as an Asian in Southern California of my generation, I was exposed to plenty of times growing up where people were saying kids were saying not nice things because I was Chinese. And it wasn't like a huge deal. It wasn't like people were burning, steaks in front of my house. Nothing like that to an extreme degree. And because I don't want to also trying to trivialize, more extreme cases or make it sound like I went through stuff like that. But it happened enough to where at some point I became very aware of when I'm around, again, a bunch of white people, like, I don't feel very comfortable here because probably someone's looking at me and think they're thinking certain things.
But I'm here to protect you.
And I just wouldn't want to ever live in a place where I have to think about that. Like I would feel uncomfortable about that. Like, because all the time I would subconsciously be thinking that someone in this grocery store is looking at me a certain way. And in a way, I kind of wouldn't blame them because I'm like the one random Asian person in a town of white people and a town of probably all Christians. And I'm like this, I would probably classify myself as more of an atheist. It's atheist, Chinese person. Like, what?
Imagine if you were gay, then there would be jackpot for them.
No, I mean, so here's the other thing too. Like, we were speaking with some people and we were talking about living in these more somewhat remote places, beautiful landscapes, remote places. And they were like, why would anyone not want to live here? It's so beautiful. It's so this and so that. And I remember looking up them and thinking, that is one of the most, I guess, closed-minded, short-sighted, whatever you describe it, things I've ever heard you say. Like, why wouldn't anyone want to live here? Well, if you're black, Mexican, Chinese, Indian, anything that's not white can't be here. If you're anything but Christian, can't be here. If you're anything but straight, can't be here. So, yeah, there's a lot of fucking people who can't be here or don't want to be here. And the fact that that person was saying this so earnestly tells me you don't actually understand what it means to be any of these other people. Yeah. You have no concept of it, and you don't care to even think about that. Yeah. So I was actually really annoyed when they made that remark. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious right now?
You should have said something.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't the time and place.
That's a good point.
It wasn't the time and place, and it caused drama and whatever. But like, I'm like,
yeah, it's like, pretty.
Well, I can list you a bunch of reasons as to why, like, many people would not want to be here. Yeah, I'm already getting weird looks from people, and I'm a fairly, it's not like I'm fresh off the boat. You know what I mean? I'm not wearing a big, whatever sun visor hat and a big white gloves, and yet I'm still getting weird looks when I go into town. Yeah. So you think any of the people I just mentioned would want to be here? Absolutely not.
That's why we need to make more mixed race babies. That's my grand plan. That's my life plan.
Future people.
It's just I'm gonna start like a matchmaking between people, just so we can have like more mixed babies and like make all of that a big blurred line.
A big blurred line. Blur. But anyway.
Also because that will make a lot more beautiful people in this world. It's true. Mixed race babies are so much more attractive than non-mixed race babies.
that kind of tends to be the case. But anyway, so Big Bear, it was great. I would go again, especially because it was so convenient.
Yeah, no,
and the roads were once you get out of the city, the roads in the mountains, brand new. Like super clear, super
but it's
smooth.
The same thing with Tahoe, and I don't know if it's like a California, I don't know if it's part of some sort of like national park, Big Bear, or not. I don't even know. But I'd like even like the roads around Tahoe are like pristine.
Yeah,
like they're super smooth. They're very well maintained, and I'm sure those places get really busy during winter, so I'm sure they have to like make sure that they're safe, for tourists and that to come. But yeah, really. really cool. I'd definitely go back there, for another weekend or even just 2 days. Like, it doesn't need to be a whole week, which is kind of like sometimes the difficulties of escaping is that where can you go depending on where you live, just for like a day or two if you just need to get out, without making it like, I have to go to the airport, I have to fly, I have to rent a car, I have to book an hotel, I have to do that, like just something simple. I mean, we could even go camping there.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Camping is disgusting.
Have you ever camped? And if you haven't, it's fine.
Not properly. Not like we have a tent and you're sleeping in the tent. No. I could probably...
What kind of camping would you have done then?
No, I mean, like when I was a little kid, we went to the Yosemite and we stayed in like a sort of camp-esque village. They were tents, but they were like permanent tents. But it was still just fabric.
I mean, that counts as camping.
No, yes. but when I think of camping, I mean, you have your tent, you unpack your tent, you sleep in your tent. It wasn't.
Well, there's different levels of camping because there is like you can put up your tent. Well, there's the glamping, which nowadays is more what I'm into. There is like you bring your tent and you put it up and down in like a place where you rent a spot, right? And then you have like wild camping where you just pop in the forest, pop the tent, and that's it.
No, I haven't done any of the ones where you bring your own, gear and you set it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole ordeal. Like you have to have the gear and like you have to use it.
I mean, I think it would be a pretty interesting experience, and I could probably do it if the bottom of the tent were thick enough so I didn't feel things underneath it.
Thanks.
I'm not a huge, as you can tell, I'm not a huge nature.
Yeah, but you don't feel things.
Yeah, you feel
things
twigs.
But you don't feel things.
No, there's like twigs and rocks and the worms and stuff.
What you feel is the primitive comfort of the ground.
Yeah. I'll bring, I'll buy a truck and I'll go to Home Depot and get some nice composite decking. Okay. Set up myself a little deck area, put the tent on top of that, raise off the ground.
Why don't you just put the tent on top of your car and just camp up there? Like they have those things that you see everywhere now. It's like retractable tent that you can have on top of your pickup truck with a little ladder that collapses. Like that sounds pretty cool to me.
Oddly, if I imagined that, I might be more afraid because I feel like something's going to crawl up the side of the truck.
Like the bear is going to go up the ladder.
Yeah, or the thing from Stranger Things, like something's going to crawl up the side because they know I'm hiding. I feel like if I'm on a raised deck, they're like, oh, okay, respectable. I don't know. My brain doesn't make sense.
Composite. Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I haven't been camping. I mean, I don't know. It would be interesting. I'm not opposed to it, but it's a time thing, like you said. But, Big Bear, it's... You get in, you get out, you stay at a nice Airbnb like we did. The downtown area is really nice. A lot of good eats and stuff like that. We had poke. That was actually really good. The place was weird, but also really good.
I kind of like the vibe.
Also strange to have poke in Big Bear. That was not really befitting. We did have barbecue later on, though.
I had which was really good.
Good barbecue.
It was really good barbecue. I kind of wish we had the food there, when it was like freshly made and warm.
Baby.
But it was really good. Yeah, it's hard to be on vacation when you have a baby schedule. You have to kind of follow.
Schedule dictates everything, which is pretty good because we're like, oh, we gotta go. We can't hang out with you guys any longer. The baby needs something, which has apps because that's the case right now. So we're gonna talk to you guys later. Thanks again for listening. Talk soon. Whatever. Leave reviews, all kinds of fun stuff. Instagram hotline 213-222-6950. That's it. Gotta go. Bye.
Bye-bye.